Hi everybody, this is Anna from Separation to Wholeness and the Enhanced Awareness Program. And I was speaking with a client yesterday, a really beautiful entrepreneur, a gentleman that has a very successful business, well actually has several successful business, and he's come in to do the program with me because he was really, he had one real key issue that was causing him a lot of anxiety actually, and that was the fact that he'd got himself into a really addictive habit of staying up really late at night. And you know, all entrepreneurs do that because that's just what they do. It's how they operate. It's often where they get their really creative juices flowing. However, with my client, it was having a massive impact on his overall health and his well-being, the way that he was relating to other people in his business, and how he was consulting was actually putting a lot of pressure on him because he wasn't getting quality sleep. And so, you know, obviously when he came in to do the program, we're looking at holistically what's going on with his mindset and his emotions, you know, where is his values leading him. But the key thing was yesterday when we actually looked at a particular question, and he's looking at new strategies and new actions that he can take that are going to support his overall well-being. And there was this one question, which is, I get 2 hours sleep before midnight. You'd think that was pretty okay, wouldn't you? And it was sitting in his emotional consciousness, and it was totally out of balance, as I've been explaining to you. And my client couldn't understand. He tried a lot of different strategies, and there was no way that he would get himself into a calm state and be able to get some reasonable sleep. I'm talking even 6 hours, because my client was going to bed, or still does, maybe 3 o'clock in the morning consistently, and then getting up and then having this really full day. And it just wasn't serving him or his clients or his relationships around him, and he knew that. So he was going through and discussing with me the strategies that he had in place. And remember, this is a program of enhancing your awareness. So dialoguing is one of the things that has us be able to see and hear how we're really operating, functioning in the world. And he was so uninspired with these strategies. They were like, I've got to create a routine, set my alarm to make sure I get to bed early, have a wind down process, but he was so uninspired. And I knew, and he knew, he'd been doing this before, and it wasn't sustainable. So something had to be different. Otherwise, you're creating the same result, right? So I said to my client, what is the thing that scares the hell out of you? Excuse me, but I did. What scares the hell out of you about going to sleep 2 hours before midnight? And he couldn't answer it at all. It was like a foreign question. He was thinking from his head, going, oh, you know, I've got so much work to do. That's true. I get inspired by what I'm doing, so I stay up. That's true too. But he wasn't looking after his well-being. So we just sat for a while, and then he got it. And he said, you know what, Anna, the reason I don't want to go to bed is I don't want to go on my own. And then he started describing how what he really desired most was to have a really luscious, loving relationship in his life. Well, he wasn't going to get that, was he, if he kept focusing in this other direction? So then he was able to sit with that. It was a little bit of a shock for him, to be honest. But when he opened up his heart and was willing to share what the truth was, the truth will always set you free. He was able then to start to create a different set of strategies, ones that actually inspired him, ones that actually welcomed a partner into his life, such as, I would have a gratitude journal by my bed where I would write about how grateful I am to be welcoming a new partner into my life. I would be making my room a haven that was a welcome place for partnership and intimacy. Now, you know what? You've got to think that these were really out of the box for this businessman, but he got it. So he started creating these strategies. And the whole thing is, he doesn't actually have to do them. He may. In fact, I'd probably encourage it to some degree. But he doesn't have to, because it's when we are able to create a new possibility and be the observer of that possibility, it's in being able to observe a different result that the miracles actually occur. And so my client said to me, he left in such a loving space, but before he left, he said, you know what, Anna? He said, this enhances awareness work is like a business plan for life and for your heart. And he said, I'm so pleased that I'm doing this work. So he let me share, he said, I can share this with you, so I have. And this is what I want you to consider this week for you. If you notice that you're taking action or non-action and it's causing you a lot of stress, then it's more than likely you're heading in the wrong direction. Because when you take right action, as my client was now able to do, and consider what is the possibility of right action, it has flow to it and a sense of calmness. Does it mean it's going to be challenging? Absolutely, because you're breaking through a really old paradigm. But when it has that sense of flow and calmness, then you can guarantee that you're on the right track. So stay aware with that. Watch yourself in your life and see if it's actually really giving you what you want. If it's not, then I invite you to call me for a chat, and we can look at how we can work through those challenges for you too, so that you start heading in the right direction and end up having what you really desire. And like my client, I know for sure he's right on the right track now to be able to welcome in loving relationship, because he's allowing himself to see that as a possibility for him. So have a lovely week, and I look forward to speaking to you again real soon. And go well, stay and stay aware. Bye.